First, it's noontime, though, the latest on the school threat investigation. For a third day, police officers remain at many local schools after a letter to Johnston police this week threatened children in Johnston, Warwick, and in Cranston. Now, a group of law enforcement officials met this morning to consider a strategy and what precautions to take while determining if the threat is valid. Also at this hour, we're waiting answers from the URI Crime Lab on the letter itself. The investigative process is still going on at this hour, with tips continuing to roll in from the public. But the cost of the police presence this week is becoming a concern. Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly is working that story live from the West Bay Mobile Newsroom.
Danielle, on day three of Rhode Island's largest school districts operating amid fear, attendance once again is up compared to day one. Day three broke sunny and mild, but sadly it also comes against an invisible backdrop of fear. Remember, the letter writer threatened physical harm to students at elementary schools in Johnston, Cranston, and Warwick on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
There's always going to be fear every day at this point, just because, until they know really what's going on, there's always going to be a fear.
How much fear in your mind? Can you gauge it for us? Is it in the background or is it in the foreground?
No, it's definitely in the foreground. Yeah. I mean, they're children. They're young.
Amid the threat, the police investigation into who wrote the letter is still full on, and the police are still on guard at every single school in all three communities, which doesn't come cheap. So now Warwick's police chief is thinking about when and how to shrink the heavy police presence.
I think we have to be realistic that we can't keep a cop in each school because of the cost forever. I mean, I understand that the notion is very popular. We also have to keep in mind that we have to balance off that potential policy with, fiscal concerns. Where is the money going to come to do that? And at the same time, the most important factor is you never want to minimize the fact that is my child worth the money?
You're thinking about it all the time?
Yes, absolutely.
Every minute?
Well, until she comes home with me.
Colonel McCartney said the goal is to strike a balance and to create what he called, quote, the right level of psychological security for the children and for their parents. Live in Warwick with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.